If you struggle to book meetings, even though you are putting loads of time and effort into creating and sending cold emails, this video is for you. After sending thousands and thousands of emails working from small startups all the way to Fortune 500 companies like Salesforce, I have discovered that a simple change such as removing the product from my cold email makes all of the difference. Now, before you jump into your inbox and start deleting product after product, hoping it will somehow drastically change the outcome, you need to first understand why this makes such a difference and the psychology behind it. That way you can apply it holistically to your entire email strategy. Now, in the next couple minutes, I will show you everything you need to know so you can start booking more meetings immediately. And this works regardless whether you're sending emails one by one to large enterprise accounts or if you're using AI to spam the entire market. The first thing you need to understand is simple, and that is this: your prospects don't care. Right here, they just, as much as you think that they do, they just don't care. Now, what do they not care about? Well, first of all, they don't care about you. They don't care about your product, right? And they definitely do not care about your company, okay? So let's just get that out of the way. They don't care. Now, is it because they're mean? Is it because they're selfish? Is it because they're self-centered? And the answer to all of these is maybe, but the definite answer is that they're just human and they don't care because they all have their own problems, their own things that they're dealing with. So they just don't have the bandwidth to care about you. And again, this is nothing weird or out of the ordinary. This is just how human beings operate. So, okay, now that we understand that we're not going to focus on this on our email, what are the things that we should focus on? Let's get straight into it. Let's look at your prospect's circle of concerns. And this is here. A lot of salespeople, when they reach out to their ideal prospects, they're typically going to talk about their products and specifically the features of their products in their emails. But like we've covered earlier, unfortunately, they don't care about your features. Unless your prospect is a nerd about the specific product that you're selling and they're just fascinated with every aspect of it, don't talk about your features because they will not pay attention to that. Salespeople that are a little bit more advanced will perhaps talk about the benefits. And that's definitely a step in the right direction. You speak about in that email the benefits that your product will bring to your prospect. And that's certainly more powerful than speaking about features. So that's a good step forward. Then the best salespeople speak to their prospects' desires. They know what they need. They know what they want. They know what they're struggling with. And that's what they talk about in their emails because that's what they care about the most. And another way to look at this core right here, desires, is also problems. Right? The problems. What are the main problems that they are struggling with? Because you have to understand that decision makers within a B2B scenario, right? Decision makers within an organization, executives, the C-suite, they are like firemen and their goal, or firewomen, and their goal is to extinguish the biggest fire possible. And that is their greatest desire right here. Their greatest desire is to extinguish the fires that they're dealing with because guess what? They have enormous pressure in these corporate structures to perform and turn these fires off. And if they don't turn these fires off, guess what? They're going to get fired. So no pun intended. So this is the most important thing that they want to tackle and what they care about the most. So in our emails, that's what we have to talk about. And this flips the entire dynamic from you chasing and begging and pleading as a salesperson, give me a meeting, to, hey, look, I understand what you're struggling with, what your problems are, what your desires are. And you also talk about the benefits that you can bring them with your product or service. And now they actually want to talk to you if it's the right problem, desire, and benefit that you are demonstrating in your email. Next step when it comes to maximizing the efficiency of our email is this: don't give everything away. See this all the time when I'm reviewing emails for some of our students. They write an email, hi, X, and then they say everything about their life and their product and the solution and the benefit that it will bring the buyer. And they just say everything they could ever say. The email's way too long. You gave them too much. And guess what? There's no longer a need for them to talk to you, to get information from you, because you basically told them everything they needed to know. And this is going to tie to our next point in a little bit, and I'll get into that just in a couple of minutes. But we have to provide enough value in that email for them to want to book a meeting with us, but not more. At the end, there's only one reason why we are sending these emails, and one reason only, and that is to book a meeting. That is the only reason why we're sending the email. is to book a meeting. If we are out of the sales cycle, it's just to book a meeting. So any additional complexity or information or anything else that you're including in that email that doesn't contribute to the one singular goal of booking this meeting should not be on that email. Because when we're able to actually book that meeting, this is where we are able, as professional salespeople and experts of our product and industry, that's where we can deliver the most value. You see, whatever problems your prospects are struggling with that you can solve, they are struggling with it now, but they don't have as much experience solving that problem as you do, because you've probably worked with 10 other prospects on this specific problem, helping them troubleshoot it, guiding them step by step through the process of solving this problem. So you have way more experience. So if we give everything away, if we give absolutely everything away in our email, right, that defeats our number one purpose, which is right here, booking a meeting, which then prevents us from delivering the value that we can to our prospects. And unfortunately, honestly, they're just going to waste time, continue to struggle with the same pains, and they're going to miss out on being able to work with you directly. So don't give everything away, save it for the meeting. And there's a specific reason for that, and we're going to cover that next. The primary reason why we don't want to give everything away is because of a powerful principle, and that is curiosity right here. This is super powerful in sales and almost in life. You can use curiosity for almost everything. We need to build curiosity. When we say everything, like my last point, when you say everything on your email, right? We got how to spell everything here, right? You actually destroy curiosity. And instead of destroying curiosity, we want to build curiosity, and we do so primarily through the curiosity loop. So let's work through the curiosity loop together. How does it work? Well, step one in the curiosity loop is we have to highlight a problem. And remember, from the first point that I covered, is that they don't care about you. They don't care about your product. They don't even care about your company. They care about their problems. Remember the fire analogy, right? They're firemen, firewomen, and their job is to put away the fire. So your first job when you're trying to help them turn off these fires is that we have to highlight the fire. We have to highlight the problem. If we can't highlight the problem, we will not get their attention. If we can't get their attention, we cannot get the meeting. If we cannot get the meeting, we cannot help them. If we cannot help them, we cannot close deals and make commissions and get promoted. So we want to highlight the problem. Next, we want to highlight to them or explain, right? We want to be able to explain that the problem can be solved. That is not all doom and gloom. We're not just fear-mongering them by only highlighting the problem. We also have to let them know that there is a solution. There is bigger, brighter, better days ahead of us. So do not panic. We can solve this. And in this specific case, yes, we want to explain that the problem can be solved, but even more powerfully, we can even show them that the problem has been solved and that we have literally done it with X, Y, and Z customer, that the problem literally, we've turned this fire off before. Here's a proof. We've done it with X, Y, and Z. We also call this social proof. Now, our last step is this. But before I get into step 3, notice we have not talked about our product. We have not talked about our company. We have not talked about in depth even how we're going to solve the problem. All we've done so far, right, in our email, in this process of building curiosity, is that we've highlighted a problem, number one, and that we explain that the problem can be solved and that it has been solved, but we have not covered the how. Or at least we've hinted at it, but we have not gone in depth, because that will kill the curiosity loop. So that brings us to step number 3. At step number 3, the buyer books diagnosis call to learn more about how to solve the problem. We don't include the how too much in our email. We leave that for remember, the guiding principle to cold email. The only reason why you're sending cold emails to prospects is to book, I'm going to say this 1,000 times in this video, book a meeting and nothing else. There's no other purpose to sending cold emails but to book meetings. That is your sole objective as a salesperson. And if we have completed this curiosity loop, we should be able to continue it again and again and again, and we continue to book more and more meetings, and more deals get closed, and more commissions you will earn. So remember, build curiosity, do not destroy it. And if we're completely honest, it's no wonder why so many sales reps struggle to book meetings. It's because they almost do the complete opposite of the curiosity loop. Instead of highlighting a problem, right, what do? They highlight themselves. right? But we already covered that your prospects don't care about you or your product. They highlight the product, the accomplishments of their company, some people even their accomplishments that they have had in sales, which is completely irrelevant to these high-level executives. So right away, we are pretty much obliterating this first powerful principle to build curiosity. Then instead of explaining how the problem can be solved, right? They do almost the complete opposite. Instead, they go in depth into features about their products and services and their companies and the specific how-to of how they can solve that problem, and they give it all away. They give off pretty much everything, like we covered on the last point. You don't want to give up everything, but most people in this second step, instead of explaining that the problem can be solved, they just give it all away. And then lastly, when it comes to the most important step, the buyer doesn't have any motivation to book the call, right? They don't have any motivations to jump on a meeting with you because you haven't highlighted the problem. You gave away all your secret sauce. So now there's literally no pressure, no curiosity, no buying temperature to move to the next point in this sales cycle, which is the meeting. So please avoid these crucial mistakes if you want to build curiosity effectively and book meetings with your cold email. So at this point, you may say, okay, Liam, you've told me everything about what I shouldn't do and why, but what should I do instead? Give me the actual solution to this problem. So I'm there with you. So let's get straight into it. What do we want to do instead? Well, I've shared some principles with you already, right? But let's actually ground it into a literal example. Let's get straight into the type of email that I will send, for example. So here's pretty much a template you can plug and play and start using right away. So let's go through it. So first of all, obviously, hi name. We want to address them by their name. As per Dale Carnegie, the name is everybody's favorite sound. Again, we're starting the email with them. I know it's standard procedure, but thought I should kind of walk you through that. But we help, right? Specific person with specific needs. We don't help everybody. We're not just spamming the entire market. These are not marketing emails. Marketing emails can afford to be more open-ended and it can be not as tailored, not as specific, but these are not marketing emails. These are sales emails. These are sniper emails. These are hyper-personalized email, even if you're doing it at scale. So we have to describe the specific person with the specific needs that we help them with. And we help them solve a specific problem. Remember, problems. Remember the fire analogy. That was a horrible fire I just drew there. But let's just pretend here this is fire somehow, some way, right? But this is what we are helping them with. And even we can include a unique twist of how we do it, our unique solution. We hint at it, but we don't expand on it too much. Then we go on and say, probably sounds slightly unbelievable, but we've had success with companies similar to Prospect, right? Something we spoke about earlier. And this is very important because this right here is social proof, which is key if we want to build trust over email and book these meetings. And then lastly, we end with a CTA, is what we call a call to action. And we say, makes sense to jump on a quick call and I'll explain how it works. Then we have thanks, and then we can have your name here, obviously. Now notice how in this entire email, we have not talked about our product. We have not talked about our company. We have not talked about ourselves too much. There's not a single thing about me here. It's all about them, their problems, and the benefits that we bring to them and the desires that we help them fulfill, which in this case is solving this problem. So literally take this template and start just filling in the blanks right here with your specific situation and your specific prospects. Now let's take it even a step deeper. Let's work through an exercise together and let's actually fill this out. So let's look at the following example. So we have here, hi John, we help COOs solve operational bottlenecks with internal collaboration. This is right here is our unique twist just to spark curiosity a little bit, but we're not going too deep into our internal team collaboration software and all the features, our messaging features, our community features. No, we're just hinting at it slightly, ever so slightly. We don't want to talk about it too much because we want to keep the curiosity loop open, okay? Then we go right here into probably sounds slightly unbelievable, but we've helped our clients like AMEC and Apex 8. These are two company names I just made up, okay? And again, this is social proof right here. Social proof. Very important. We cannot skip social proof. This is one of the most important leverages you can use in your cold email, right? So we've helped clients like AMEC and Apex 8 increase their operational efficiency by 27.4% while cutting their costs by 18.7% on average. Doesn't make sense to jump on a quick call, and I'll explain how it works. Thank you. Again, we didn't mention our product. We just kept it focused on them because ultimately, like we learned from earlier, they only care about themselves, not because they're mean, but because they're human. So we want to leverage their humanity to help them solve their problems. So there you go. I hope this was able to help you. And if you want to continue making selling simple, why not click on the video on the screen right now?